Welcome to this explainer. For generations, we've kind of looked at Earth as the ultimate cosmic lottery ticket. We just naturally assume our world is the absolute pinnacle of habitability, right? But, new data suggests our planetary comfort zone might actually be blinding us to a reality where the universe is way more welcoming than our home. So today, we're examining some fascinating source material that challenges literally everything we think we know about what makes a planet perfect for life. Is Earth truly the only perfect home for life? Okay, let's dive into this. Because for centuries, humanity has suffered from a massive case of planetary bias. We look around at our vast blue oceans, the breathable air, the rich biosphere, and we treat Earth like it's the undisputed gold standard of the universe. But what if we're entirely wrong about that? What if that assumption is actually a limiting misconception, and there are places out there that are vastly superior for biological development? When we compare Earth to these theoretical super-habitable worlds, honestly, our planet starts to look almost like a rough draft. The text points to a staggering reality. There are planetary bodies out there that might be far better suited to foster and sustain life than our own pale blue dot. We're talking about planets with slightly more massive cores, which, provide stronger, much more robust magnetic fields to shield against stellar radiation. Or think about planets orbiting stars that are calmer and longer lived than our sun, giving life billions of extra years to just evolve, adapt, and diversify. We aren't just talking about places that simply tolerate survival. We're talking about absolute optimal environments that actively encourage life to thrive in ways we can scarcely imagine. Now, to really wrap our heads around this concept, we have to expand our search parameters way past the familiar orbits of Mars or Jupiter. As long as we keep our scientific focus locked strictly within the boundaries of our own solar system, our understanding of what makes a planet habitable is going to remain severely limited. The source material strongly prompts us to cast our gaze outward, venture out of our local stellar neighborhood, and peer into the deep, totally uncharted territories of the wider galaxy. The Sun, our local star, but merely a starting point in the search for habitable worlds. It's just one relatively young star suspended in an unfathomably massive cosmic web of billions of others. So if we want to find these superior, super-habitable worlds, we have to accept that our familiar local environment is really just the prologue to a much, much larger astrobiological story. And that brings us to the enigma of exoplanet 1126b. We aren't just discussing abstract astrophysical theories anymore. We are actually pointing our telescopes directly at this specific target identified in the source data. This grounds our whole cosmic journey into a tangible location in the vastness of space, giving us a really concrete example of what these optimized environments might actually look like in practice. 1126. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is that this designation isn't just some random catalog entry in an astronomical database. In the source data, it represents a real, distant world that practically demands a closer, intensely focused look. It's an exoplanet that has captured some serious attention, serving as a prime candidate for analyzing conditions that might actually eclipse our own. The source text uses a really intriguing phrase here, 1126b for improvement. I mean, what exactly does improvement even mean for a giant rock floating in deep space? Well, it implies that when we look at the data for 1126b, we might be looking at a planetary setup that's an actual upgrade over the baseline conditions required for life right here on Earth. It completely challenges us to think of habitability not as a simple pass or fail checklist, but as a sliding scale, with planets like this potentially sitting right up at the very top. But a perfectly habitable environment is really only half the astrobiological equation. If there are worlds out there actively better suited for life, the next logical question is, who might actually live there? We are now entering the absolute thrill of the search for intelligent life. Intelligent life, the theoretical existence of advanced beings on other planets. The source material directly raises the prospect of this happening on these distant worlds. Now, to be absolutely clear, we aren't stating this as a confirmed scientific fact. We haven't found aliens yet, but it is a statistical and philosophical possibility derived directly from the data. And honestly, it's a mathematical reality that completely changes how we view the night sky. If the prime real estate is out there, and if it's even better than Earth, it's perfectly logical to wonder if an advanced civilization has already evolved and set up shop in those optimal conditions. To truly appreciate the sheer weight of this possibility, we have to zoom out from the single anomaly of 1126b and look at the grandest scale imaginable. We are stepping out to view a universe that doesn't just hold one or two unique super-habitable worlds, but a universe of millions. Let's move to and see how this builds. We've scaled our perspective from our familiar Earth, past our local sun, out to targeted anomalies like 1126b, and finally, to the realization that there are literally millions of similar worlds out there. This conceptual journey takes us right from the cozy comfort of our home directly into a staggeringly expansive cosmic frontier. 1 million. So the crucial point is that the source explicitly points to millions of potential new worlds just waiting in the dark. We aren't looking for a single needle in a haystack here. It's like we're looking at a universe filled with haystacks, and each one could potentially harbor planets that completely outshine our own in terms of supporting life. It's a volume of pure potential that literally forces us to rethink our place in the galactic neighborhood. Among millions of better worlds, what is our true place? Subscribe to explore more. Seriously, think about it. If Earth isn't the grand pinnacle of creation, but merely one humble stepping stone in a universe teeming with superior habitats and potentially intelligent life, how does that change the way you view our existence? It's a deeply humbling and thrilling thought to leave you with. If you want to keep unraveling these cosmic mysteries, challenging what you know, and exploring what lies out there in the dark, make sure you subscribe to explore more, just as our source text suggests. Keep learning, keep looking up, and stay intensely curious.